friends. So, I want to talk about something that I've been kind of putting off for a while. And while I do that, I'm going to drink my coffee. I have made a little latte, and then, well, I drank it all, but it was still full of like my protein milk foam. So I added some more espresso to it. We'll see how that goes later in the day. But the good news is it's only 10:30. It's a little strong, but that's okay. It gives us fuel to power through. So the thing that's on my mind today, and really mostly every day, along with looking for a new job, is my weight loss journey. And it's not going so hot right now, but I had lost probably 140 pounds. I've gained a few back, but not too many. And I'm not going to be too hard on myself about it. I'm just going to right the ship because that's all you can do. And after you get to a certain point, you realize that that's all you can do is make the best choices. And if you didn't, then move on the next time. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how I got there. I have not used a GLP, and I don't spend a bunch of time in the gym. Actually, I don't really exercise all that much. Not what you would call, not like go to the gym and exercise. I'm pretty active. I'm up and around and out and walking around all the time, so that helps. I'm not a gym rat. I really never have been. Once, like, if I get into it and really set the stage for it, then I like it, but otherwise, I want to read a book and have a cup of coffee. I'm not going to be one of those people who, you message and they're like, oh, I'm at the gym. No. Or, that gets up at 5 a.m. and goes to the gym before work or hits the gym right after work. It's just not who I am. And I have to accept that and incorporate it into the rest of the lifestyle that I'm trying to create. So I pretty much started this time. I've used Weight Watchers in the past, and there have been a couple of times in my life where I've lost 100 pounds and then gained it back. So I'm not doing that anymore. I'm older now, and it's an exhausting cycle, and I don't want to do it anymore. So I'm not going to. I started with Optavia this time, and I lost quite a bit, probably about 100 pounds, or close to it at least. But what I didn't like was relying on all those packets. They were very expensive, and you do 5 packets on that plan and then a meal. And the cost is probably about $500 a month for the packets. I know it was a complicated system of counting condiments and spices counted, and you had to have a certain number of greens and a lean or a leaner or a leanest, and I got kind of not tired, but I honestly, that didn't bother me as much as the packets. I loved losing the weight, and I actually loved, the thing that I loved most about it was that realizing that all of the packets that they have are nutritionally similar. So it keeps you you have the exact same number of calories every time you use one of those packets. I thought that made sense to me, and it made sense on how it keeps your metabolism moving. Sorry, I have to, wow. The person who was my coach didn't really want you to make any adjustments. So there's a lot of people out on YouTube or however or wherever who use the condiments and stuff to put into other stuff. Like they'll make a latte. I don't remember how to do that now, but so basically breaking up the condiments and stuff and the part of the leaner or the green to create a different meal during the day instead of just having the packet. And she was not a fan of that. And I kind of wanted to alter and be able to have fun with it. And that kind of, because that making it fun creates something in my brain that I'm like, oh, well, that's cute. I could do that. That's fun. Let's do this. Let's make this drink. And when it started to wear off and the cost got to be just prohibitive. So I started thinking, packet life just isn't for me. And I stopped using that system and I gained back about 30 pounds, 20 to 30 pounds. So then I was like, well, what am I going to do now? So I talked to my doctor. My doctor still, when I saw her, she was so excited because I'd still lost, I was still on the losing end. And I told her, look, I'm having some trouble. I'm gaining back weight that I'd lost and I don't want to. And there's nothing. I don't want to gain weight back. And she said, why don't you try this GLP-1? And I was like, well, I'll think about it. So she gave me some samples and I never actually used the samples because I couldn't even order the medication. Like they were out. The pharmacy was out, so I couldn't even get the medication and it was very expensive. Even with my insurance, it was like $1,100 or $1,200 a month, and maybe my insurance didn't even cover it. So I thought that's really not something that I want to sign up for. I have to, and also there's the fact that once you're off the GLP, you still have to figure out how to deal with the food issues that you have. So I don't want to, I didn't want to be in that cycle. I wanted to figure out how to deal with the stuff and move forward and lose the weight without using extra stuff. It's not for everybody, but I started looking around and I knew that I kind of wanted to approximate the Optavia plan because I really liked the nutritional values on things and the protein, making the protein higher and the carbs lower, and just kind of using macros to figure that stuff out. But so I would take, like, I think each, let me take a moment and go back to the job search thing. So I had an initial call a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it went really well, and I'm still waiting to hear if I get an actual interview. I guess she called it a screening and then she said a second round. So I guess it's kind of the first round interview. I'm hoping, cross your fingers, please, because I would really like that job. And I'm just kind of waiting to hear about that while I've put in a ton of other applications. Last week, I think I did 16. Yesterday, I did 5. So I'm trying my best. I'm really trying my best. I don't know what else I can do, but I'm hopeful. I'm trying to, today's a little harder. Monday, I kind of took a pause and like went to the pool and kind of recharged, and it was really nice. And you can see all my freckles have come out now, even more so than usual. But it's been kind of, so the job search and the weight loss journey and my health goals are like so intertwined right now, and it's really hard because the more out of whack I feel about the job search, the more out of whack I feel about my health goals. And I don't like feeling that way. I'm so into being positive and trying to collect that positive energy and like also give it back out to the world. And it's been a really tough time. So I haven't been eating the best things that are good for me. And I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm trying to start fresh today. Whew. I don't know what started this. For one thing, for one thing, my my car insurance company keeps messaging me like every week. Like, why? Why do they keep messaging me? And all they want is like they want to review my policies. They want me to come in and do this, and they want me to. I think I need to find a new one because I don't need to communicate with them that much. So they're still doing yard work. The life we live, right? The things that happen when we're not usually at home. I should know that they do this on Wednesdays. I don't know why I decided to film on a Wednesday, but here we are. I got a message from my hairstylist. I mean, what do you even call them? She's more than a stylist. She's just like the best person. And her salon, that's what I was trying to say. I got a message from my salon that I have an appointment reminding me of my appointment in like 2 days. And I didn't realize that I'd had one. And it just kind of set off this thing of like, oh my gosh, so much time has passed. And how do I still not have a job? I don't understand. Like, I'm really capable and I'm smart and I want to work. And how is it this hard, you guys? Okay. So that's kind of what started that. And I'd already been kind of down on myself about my food choices. So we gotta shake it off and move on. So I was talking about Optavia and how I didn't want to do that anymore because I didn't want to live my life on packets. And you have to at some point. And when I was doing it, I was thinking, it's okay, it's not forever. This is not a forever plan, but I need a forever plan. And that's what, like, I'm gonna have to do something forever so that it doesn't, I mean, I'm not gonna be losing weight forever, obviously, if I ever get to wear a good number, but it is something you have to change your habits and you have to keep them changed. You can't go back to the way you were before. So I didn't want to do the packets. So I figured I could approximate the packets. So that's 5 times a day, 100 calories each. And then I tried to do that, and that's a lot of brain power. Like coming up with all those things. Fortunately, now you could probably use AI to help you with it. So you could do that. But I stumbled on a group. Hold on, I'm going to take a drink of my coffee. One moment, please. So in my research, I think what I had searched was like weight loss and real food and using like approximating Optavia with real food instead of packets. And so I found a group called Weight Loss with Real Food. And I was like, how about that? So basically, she had already done all that work for me. So her name is Sherry. She lives in California. And she has a Facebook group called Real Food. And she has a website called Weight Loss with Real Food. And there's a lot of free information on there. Through Facebook, she also runs a mentorship group, and you can join that. It's $100 a month. And I have done that for 2 years. I think it's coming up on 2 years. Maybe it's coming up on 3. Gosh, no. It has to be 2. Anyway, I think about 2 years. And it's a wonderful group. I love it. She does a lot. She has a full-time job and she does this as well. And she does a live on Facebook every Saturday where she talks some, and then she has a menu created for the next week. And these are just kind of extra ones because when you join, you get access to a bank of a ton of menus that meals that she's created. The end of day macros are this kind of the same as what Optavia's end of day macros would be, but she has several plans, and the most popular one is a breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 2 snacks. So each one is a certain amount of macros or a certain amount of calories. She'll do She calls them power meals. So I made notes. Why am I struggling and not looking at my notes? Yeah, okay, so the Real Food group on Facebook, it's just called Real Food. And I was in that group for about a year before I took the plunge and joined mentorship. And she has lots of free stuff on the Real Food group. And there's like a ton of people in that group. So I was in there for about a year, and I lost what I regained. And then I got to January, and I was like, I want to try the mentorship group. And my plan was to try it for like a month. Well, it's been almost 2 years now. So I'm still in there. And I'm going to hold on to that as long as I can. If I end up having to cut a lot more expenses, then I guess I'll take a break from it. But I highly value her information and her mentorship, and I couldn't recommend it enough. It's a wonderful group to be a part of, and she gives so much information. And at $100 a month, I mean, if you're doing Optavia, you're spending at least $500 a month on on just the packets. And she uses a lot of the same ingredients, but you never feel like you're eating the same thing over and over again. Unless you choose, like on her Saturday live, she'll do like, it's a breakfast, a lunch, a dinner, and 2 snacks. And she repeats that all week, every day for a week. You can do that. You can swap 1 or 2, like choose 2 plans and do like every other day or something, and that keeps it fresh too. I can't remember how many protein that her parameters call for, but I like to have at least 30. And honestly, I want to be solidly in the 30s. 30 for me is kind of low. So that's kind of how I've kind of gone off on my own a little bit, but it's always good to have her plans to come back to, because sometimes I need that consistency. And I mean, I'm not an expert. Obviously, I haven't gotten to exactly where I need to be yet. So I need that. I want that support and the stability of her plans, knowing that I can choose. You can put together a whole different day from her plans. Like if you want, as she's added more, I have a spreadsheet that I use to keep track of what the menu is, and like what the menu's called, what the recipe is called, and how many fat, carb, and protein and calories are in them. And that way I can sort through and figure out, oh, okay, so today I really want a lunch or dinner that's 40 grams of protein. So with, ground beef, so that I can sort it from ground beef and then see how many grams of protein are in each thing. So that's really helpful. But having her stuff to come back to, and as a safety net, is where it's at for me. I do post quite a few recipes myself, and those are all things that I've come up with. But I don't share hers. You might see me, like today I'm gonna make something, and I might show it at the end when I'm done. But I'm not giving out her information for free. She's worked really hard, and I adore her, and I adore that group, and I don't want to get kicked out. So I'm not giving away her stuff for free. Mine, I'll give away for free for now at least. But if you want to see some of mine, they're over on Instagram. I'll pop a couple of pictures up. But what I love about her plan is that it's very flexible. The end of day macros matter the most. So if you have something special that you're doing, you can you can have, you can kind of splurge and then make it up as the day goes by, or, you know, make it up beforehand, like have a shake, a high protein shake instead of a meal to get your proteins in early. And also, I've really learned from that group not to beat yourself up. You make a bad choice, move on to the next meal. Just leave it in the past and move forward. And I think that that is the key where most people might fail in their day, is like, you have ice cream at the end of the day and you're like, oh, why did I do that? You wake up the next morning and you're like, oh crap, why did I do that? That sucks. Now I'm going to beat myself up and eat crappy all day. Well, don't do that. Learn from your mistake, get back on track, because that's how life works. You can't just go down the rabbit hole and feel bad forever because yesterday you had some ice cream. Also, if you want ice cream, there's lots of approximations you can do. One that I'm going to work on, I haven't made it yet, but I ordered some things from the Loaded Tea Shop, the little drink packets. And I think I'm going to try to make an Italian ice with one and make it a creamy Italian ice, so to make it, to have a protein source in it. So I'm going to use some Fairlife milk and put it in the blender with some of that drink packet and see how that turns out. Some ice and some Fairlife and some drink packet. And that's really easy, and it can be a little sweet, and I'm going to maybe have that tonight. Some of the challenging things about this plan is that sometimes it's hard to eat 5 meals a day. I don't always have time. I get kind of backed up, and I don't like to eat breakfast so early. And so sometimes I just have a shake. Like the busy day latte that I make, sometimes that's something that I fall back on quite a bit to get my protein in, and also to have something, but not to have too much. And then I'll end up having to add a little later, which is okay. It's just, we have to figure out what works for us and adjust. So that's one way that I've adjusted, is to know that my breakfast is going to probably be smaller. Since I've been at home, it's a little easier to make breakfast and to like make the thing that I made this morning, the peanut butter and jelly and the latte, because I can use the toaster. And yesterday I made a breakfast from the group that I'm in, from her menu for the week, which is a detox menu. We're doing like a 6 week challenge to lose 20 pounds. I did one, we did another one in there in the fall, and it was also, I think it was 6 weeks, and it was 20 pounds. I didn't lose 20 pounds, and even though I followed it exactly, like I followed it exactly, but I didn't lose 20 pounds. Maybe 10. You know what? I don't know. I would have to look back to be sure, but not every body is the same. And so I got kind of sad about not losing the 20 pounds because that was the goal. And even though I was doing the things that I was supposed to be doing, except exercising, of course, I didn't like go heavy on the exercise. So that is probably the difference. So that's on me. Like, maybe this time I'll do that. Maybe I'll add that in this time. But she started it on Saturday. No, the menu came out on Saturday, and it started on Monday. It's Wednesday. I didn't do it Monday or Tuesday, but I'm going to start today. I don't care that it's not, that I'm 2 days off. I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. So, and the breakfast that I had was not their breakfast, was not the breakfast from that menu, but I can make it work. And it's within the macros that I need to be in. So tomorrow I'll switch back to having what is exactly on the menu, which was Like it was a breakfast wrap. So I had it yesterday. It was really good. I'll make it again tomorrow. Today I have to make the lunch. Man, my nose is very stuffy and it's hard, like I can't breathe. That's why I've seemed like I'm out of breath, even though I'm just sitting here. And also talking about this stuff is a little scary. One of the most common questions I think people ask is, well, what does your family eat? Well, you know what? For a while, I was just cooking the stuff for me, and then I'm like, wait, these are healthy meals. Like, why is my family not eating this too? So they eat what I eat. They just usually eat more of it. So sometimes if I'm not doing an exact plan or a menu that that group has created, then I'll just cook some proteins. We'll have proteins and rice and vegetables. And that's because that's something that usually everybody can eat. They're kind of funny especially when the weather changes, it gets warm out. Our youngest doesn't really have much of an appetite. And then James doesn't usually have an appetite. He'll eat at work. But other than that, sometimes he doesn't feel like eating. And I can't force him to eat. We do have like protein bars and stuff in case he needs something but his stomach can't really handle something. So I do need to pick him up some yogurt because I think that'll be a good thing for him to have for now. But they eat what I eat. My changes to the plan that she has, I think she calls for, her plans are up to like try to get 100 grams of protein a day. And her macros, her planned macros might even be about 90. And really, I want to land somewhere in like 120, at least 120. And I'm pretty good at getting that in there. I just kind of focus on the protein first. So, and that's why I like to have at least 30 grams of protein in each meal, the breakfast, the lunch, and the dinner. And then the snacks, I like to have at least 10 to, 10 feels a little low to me. I aim more for like 12 to 15. However, sometimes you do what you can. Sometimes I'm off plan, and so I'll eat something crappy, and like, what's the point of that? And then why am I stressing myself out about 120, at least getting 120, when I'm psyching myself out and eating something that is no protein and like 100 carbs? Not really, but I mean, you get the idea. So that's where I am right now. And that's when I share meals, that's where it's coming from. And I hope that this might help you. And join that Facebook group if you're on Facebook. And you can look at her website. She does have products now. These are very new. She came out with them maybe a month or so ago. And I can do some reviews on some of the products. I haven't had all of them, but some of my favorites are the pancakes. The pancakes are really good. My kid even likes them. And the fettuccine alfredo is really tasty. And you can add, you would add like chicken and a vegetable with it. And what else do I like? I really like the cereal. There's a mini chocolate crisps or something that I haven't had yet, but I really wish that I had ordered that. But I'm not going to order anything right now because I need to save my money. But she has a lot of bars, but the bars go really quickly. So you got to get them when they're in stock. And what else have I had? I have a lot of things. There's some puddings. I have a lot of puddings and shakes, but I don't remember having them yet. So I will update you as I try them. But the pancakes are very good. And I think I have a picture of what I've made with that. The pancakes and the fettuccine alfredo. And maybe the cereal. I don't think I took a picture of the cereal, which I did some yogurt and some cereal. And I don't know if I put fruit on there. I don't think I did. I think it was just the yogurt and the cereal because I was busy that day, and I think I was actually editing videos that day and just wanted to get things done. So that's what I have for now, and perfect timing because my battery is at 10%, and I gotta go fold some clothes. Do my house elfing today has been pretty successful. I made the bed, I tidied the litter, I washed the towels and the shower curtain liner and the shower curtain, and now the rugs are in the wash. So I gotta go get the towels out and put everything back, and then put the rugs in. And then I'm gonna make a detox meal because I'm gonna stay on my health goals. That's what I'm gonna do today. I guess that's it for now. Okay, bye-bye.